Hey, my Legion, how y'all doing today? I'm here today to review The Strangers Pray at Night. I keep wanting to say Pray by Night, but I think it's Pray at Night. And this is the sequel to the 2008 movie The Strangers. Now, I found out inadvertently, I didn't know originally it was a remake of the French film. But I remember seeing a review of that back when the whole movie review shows kind of took off more. There was more spin-offs because, of course, there was Ebert and Roper, and this was before they got mad at Disney and left, where Ebert left. And they had a show called Hot Ticket, which was originally a group discussion movie review, then with Leonard Maltin all there, on there. And then it ended up just being Leonard Maltin and Joyce Cole Haywick. And then late night, on NBC Late Night, Friday and Saturday night, they had a show called Real Talk with Jeffrey Lyons and Allison Bales. And sometimes they just rebroadcast it, Saturday night. And I liked that show until they both made me mad because insulting metal, because they reviewed the story of Anvil, and they both diss metal, like Jeffrey Lyons. I could care less about this music. And then Allison Bales said, well, with a movie about music, you have to decide whether it's still important or not. If it's still important for music, I don't think so. They've been a bunch of snobs. Well, a lot of times, cinema snobs, just like whenever Jackass came out, I remember one critic said, this is one of the funniest movies of the year, or the funniest movie of the year, despite what the cinema snobs say. You know what I mean? But I still watch the shows. And they reviewed a show. I remember Jeffrey Lyons and Allison reviewed a show called Them, made back in 2006, not to be fused with the Giant Ant movie, but I mean about these couple being terrorized by these kids. As a French film. And then I found out later on that it was The Strangers was a remake of that movie, the American version of that movie. And I remember at the theater, they had seen trailers for The Strangers. And that one was I remember that one was so creepy. And then someone in the front said he saw a thing, and after the trailer was over, he goes, F me. So that's a sign of an effective trailer. I remember it came out, I bought it on DVD, and I loved the movie. I thought it was really scary. Liv Tyler was in it. And they pretty much just terrorized the whole movie. Now, earlier this year, the sequel, like I said, 10 years later, Strangers Pray at Night came out. And like I said, it played in the theaters. I didn't see it at the theaters because it was a bad winter. It was like around March. And I was looking around. I said, what the heck? I looked on Amazon. I found it was free, available with Amazon Prime, an unrated version. So I thought, oh, heck yeah, I want to see this. And I watched it, and it revolves around this family who goes to this secluded trailer park. Yeah, I mean, Jeremy John said it looked like the Camp Crystal Lake at Trailer Park. I thought it looked like they went out to like something from the Twilight Zone when they wanted, because no one existed there. You know what I mean? It's just all dark and secluded. And they were stalked by the three killers in Strangers. Now, there's no really, it has really no connection to the first one at all. I mean, except from the Strangers with the mask and stuff like that. It's just, what should I say? It's like an in-name only sequel, and there's plenty of those in the horror movie industry too. But like I said, it revolves around a family, mom, dad, and brother and sister. Now the brother looks like, I mean, he said he's about ready to go to college. He looks like he's 30 years old. And, they said they're going to drop their daughter off at boarding school, so they wanted to stop at this one place. And the biggest problem the first half is that you don't care about the family. The family, they are pretty much throwaway characters. They're very emotionless. And it just, the first half of the movie really drags. I mean, until something really starts to happen. And then whenever there starts to be really conflict with them, they start showing some emotion. You start finally starting to care for them. Care about the characters. Because you did it at first. That's the biggest problem. The first half really drags. I mean, it's not boring, but it's not as interesting as it could be. So sometimes you have to, if you're really invested in the characters, you really care what happens to them. And you really weren't, at least for the first half. And then eventually when things start to go down, they start to have some emotion. And then you start to care for them, kind of. And it's really interesting. I mean, I know the strangers, the killers in the movie, they sure like their music a lot. Because whenever they go, they turn it like an 80s song and stuff like that. But that's part of the 80s nostalgia kick. But like I said, the first half is just so slow. And then it gets really good after that. But there's a scene that pretty much lifted right. If you know your horror films like I do, if you know, there's a scene that's kind of lifted off right from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, kind of. You'll notice that. And then the way it ended, something happened before it faded blind. I was like, what? Because I didn't answer any questions. I know Chris Stuckman said the same thing. Because I did check, see if they had the same feeling as me. I still enjoyed the movie, though. But the first half just dragged, and then it took a while for you to really care about the people in the movie. I mean, you know, the killers, but the people being attacked. You know, about halfway through till you started to really care about them. And that was a big problem. And it pretty much looked like a made-for-DVD sequel that went to theaters. Because if you remember, like, the Silent Night, Deadly Night movies, I think the first one played, first one played in theaters. The other ones did not, were direct-to-video. At least I think so. I don't think the second one played in any theaters. Now, I know the Howling movies, the first one, was playing in theaters, and the other ones, I saw the third one in the movie theater. So I don't know, maybe some of the Silent Night, Deadly Night played in the theater, but I did see Howling 3 of the Marsupials in the theater. But, I think Strangers Prey at Night is a decent movie. It could have been a lot better. But, the second half, it really starts to get good. I started to get somewhat invested in it. I jumped twice. I did jump 2 times. But, without that being said, I'd probably give that a mild 7 out of 10. It's nowhere near as good as the first one. And nowhere near as good as Them. Not the Giant Ant one, original French movie, which had a very shocking ending, which surprised the hell. That was the biggest surprise to me. But, I think it's worth watching. Like I say, it was unrated. I don't know why it was unrated, because there wasn't anything, it was bloody, but it wasn't like anything so over-the-top bloody to warrant an unrated thing. Maybe it was just unrated, or they put something else in there just to sell it, to get people to buy it. Well, like, there's something forbidden in it. Because I didn't really see anything that horribly wrong, for the MPA not to get mad enough to not give an R rating. You're threatening it with, an X, you know what I mean, or NC-17. But I did enjoy the movie. Like I said, mild 7 out of 10 for The Strangers Prey at Night. Like I said, if you want interested, it's available with Prime if you have Amazon Prime on Amazon. So I check it out if you're interested. I definitely was, and it was an alright movie. So until next time, bye please. Take care, Legion. Bye, bye.